All right, we're here with my man, Anthony Lee. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. I met Anthony actually on Facebook. He bought one of my deals. The deal went super smooth. In the middle of it, he sent me a deal to wholesale. We wholesaled it together. So we met. It was a 2-for-1 thing.
Yes.
So it was good. It went really smooth. And if you don't, what's your Instagram handle?
So Anthony Lee, A-Lee Real Estate. I'm a licensed agent with Realty One Group Focus here in Philadelphia. Been licensed for about 9 years now. And through being a realtor, I started becoming an investor.
There we go.
Real estate is the way, if you ask me.
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to ask you, how the hell did you get into real estate? What were you doing before? Everybody kind of has that turning point, and for most cowboys like us, it's usually something funny. It's usually worth knowing. Let me ask.
Nah, so for me, my journey is I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I just didn't know what necessarily was going to stick. So I had a landscaping business. I used to cut hair. I did go to college. I have a degree in early child elementary education. So I just was trying to find my way. But in college, my cousin gave me the Rich Dad Poor Dad book. And that always put the bug on my ear that at some point, real estate. And I just didn't know how I was going to get there. So I got laid off from my first job, my first real job after college. And I said I never wanted anybody to control my destiny. So I went and got my real estate license. Even though it took me a minute, I failed my real estate test 10 times.
10 times?
Yes, 10 times.
You hear that? 10 times. He didn't give up. He didn't throw in the towel. He kept going. Think about that.
Yeah, no, so I was locked in because at that point I told my mom I wasn't getting another job. I was going to do real estate. But I did end up getting a job because real estate, you don't just walk in making money.
No,
so
you don't.
I did end up getting a job, but I did have my real estate license to go with it. And I used my license to sell people houses and learn how to invest. And once I sold a few houses, I met a couple investors and they started giving me tips and showing me the ropes, and I started buying.
That's very cool. So the more transaction you did on the sales side, you were able to learn from all the buyers. So you gave yourself a serious education.
Mm-hmm. Right. By helping people.
Exactly. Yeah. You're getting paid while you're doing it. There's
Right.
no better training than on-the-job training, and you get to learn from these experienced investors.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. Tell me about the first deal that you actually pulled the trigger on. What was the first deal that you actually bought?
So I used my FHA first-time homebuyer loan. So at the time, I only got approved for $75,000, and I said I'm gonna buy a duplex. And I said, hey, if I can, whatever I find, that's what I'm gonna make it work. So I was able to get a little bit of cash, a friend that lent me a couple dollars, and then I got approved for a personal line of credit from the credit union. And I said, between this money, with this pre-approval and this money, I'm gonna go buy my first property. So I bought a property at 58th and Spruce, $75,000. I think I came out of pocket like $4,500 for my first property. And that was the first one. And from there, it was just, I think at the time, I was only buying like one every other year for like the first 2-3 years. And then from there, I would say like 2016, 17, I was able to pick up like 4 in 1 year. And then from there, it's kind of just been snowball.
Okay. And for those that don't know, Anthony, by the way, if you ever get a deal in West Philly, this is who you got to go to. This is the guy in West Philly, especially 3-9. Where are all your properties at? They're all in the same area, right?
So I have one near Temple Hospital.
Okay.
I got that from a referral. So I always appreciate referrals, anybody that knows somebody. But everything else I purchased has been through networking or MLS, pretty much like you said, from just say anywhere from St. Joe's University to the Drexel University Penn side.
Okay, cool.
So I pretty much, if I had a bike or I run, I could run and see all my properties in like a 5-10 mile radius.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're all in your backyard.
Pretty much, yes.
I think that's a good way to do it, I think.
So initially, yes. It gets kind of funny, because you see your tenants at the store or
oh man, I don't know about that.
And it's like hopefully they're not gonna be a pain, but it's been good though. And I like to tell people I work in my community, I service my community, and I provide quality housing. And I try to be like the local community guy. So like I said, it's good, but I'm slowly starting to try to expand, because I want to do bigger deals. And right now it's tough in those areas where, to get multi-units, you're going to be paying almost $700,000 to $1 million if you want to get like something with a substantial amount of units.
What's a substantial amount of units to you?
So now I'm pushing for, I've done 6 was my biggest, and now I'm trying to do 10 to 20.
Oh, 10
so
to
right
20.
right now I'm actually like learning and looking at new construction with the one property is 18 units that we could build, and another one is 20.
So these are some big projects, son. Oh man.
Yeah, so we haven't taken them down yet, but you know, through networking with guys like you, I'm trying to study and put it together so that I can grow. So now it's like, I appreciate the single families, but I think in order to get the bang for your buck, you got to eventually go ahead and scale up.
Oh, yeah, and if you're trying to rock up as many doors as you can, if you're doing multifamily, you don't got to do as many transactions.
Right, on one site, yes.
I like that. Okay, cool. Well, let me ask you, man, because I feel like you see a lot of things in this. In real estate, you see a lot of things on Facebook. You really, really do. Like, we're all the same Facebook groups. If you're in a market, for those of you who don't know, whatever your local market is, Facebook is where everything goes down. I wasn't even on Facebook before, but now I'm on it every single day, and it's just because of real estate. And, oh my goodness, you get more love than anybody in a lot of these groups. Everybody knows you. So you've obviously made like a good freaking name for yourself in the community for everybody to, whether they're selling or buying.
Right.
Because I would like to hear a little bit more about that. Like, what are you doing to build you have a good reputation. You always get a ton of love. Like, people plug you in on a bunch of all the different posts and stuff. Right. And like all my friends that I do deals with or comment on your stuff. Yeah, I see your name all the time.
So I'll just say it's 2 things. So one, the network in Philadelphia when you're doing good business is small. So that also says something about you where you're doing good business because we're all affiliated, if not associated with the same group, same network. But for me, it's really just, again, trying to be that resource for people. So at times it can be draining because people are always calling you kind of thing, but this is what I signed up for. I'm in the people business in the business of helping. So, I mean, again, I just try to be that resource for people because that's how I earn my living. So, I mean, most of those people, like you said, at some point we've done business or we've referred business, and I like to continue growing that. And also, depending on what your goals are, you have to connect with so many people because you're only as good as your network. So, you know, at one point my network was good for this. Another point I had to adjust the network because I'm trying to achieve these other things now. So, you know, it just comes with depending on your goals and, again, just trying to be a resource for people. And other than that, just being honest. So, like I like to say, real estate is tough, especially in Philly, because regardless of your background, you can get into real estate one way or another. And not everybody works on the same ethical boundaries as everyone. So I think it helps that, you know, you can't say I put any dirt on it. Can't nobody put no dirt on my name that I backdoored them or I did anything like that. And if anybody does say anything like that, you probably need to fact check them and, you know, see what the motive behind it is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, you know.
The bar is low. You'd be surprised. There's a lot. You'd be so surprised how low the bar is. If you just do good business with people, if you're just honest with people and do what you say you're going to do, the opportunities are endless.
No, I mean, and just from the fact, like, we met through a Facebook, Facebook and Instagram post. And like, the thing was, you posted it on Instagram. Yeah. I found you on Facebook. And I had to like get in contact with you because I wanted it so bad, that property that I had purchased from you. So it was like, you know, just trying to build those connections. So it's like you said, if you do what you say you're going to do. And I mean, we closed that deal on time. I think the tenant was the only issue that we really had.
Yeah, that still worked out really well.
Yeah. The sellers were on board. I was on board. I told you like, yo, I could close. I'm not going to give you no issue. And we closed and everything worked out. So
yeah, it was so easy. And I knew I wanted to do more deals with you just because of how easy it was. And
then the crazy thing, like you said, 2 weeks later, I found a deal. I'm like, man, I don't think I got a buyer for it. I hit you up. And that's the other thing. I think people are surprised. Like, I'm not always trying to get the whole pie. I'm trying to get everything. Like, nah, like I'm 50-50 or whatever the split's going to be. Because for me, I just want to keep everything rolling. If it's rolling, I'm happy. So, like, I had the seller, you had the buyer. Like, cool, we could make money on this. Let's make money on it.
And we made a good amount of money. I think we made double the money you thought we were going to make.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man. That was good stuff. Well, let me ask. There's something else that I want to talk to you about. Bro, I love that I'm a new dad myself. So like when I see other dads in real estate, I love it. And you are so about, if you follow him on Facebook, on social media, he's so about his kid. You can coach all these sports.
Right.
First off, I want to hear about that. What's your relationship like with your sons in real estate?
So my sons understand that real estate is how we eat. I think especially, I'm going to just speak for my community in regards to like the black community growing up in the inner city. Like, you don't realize like most people don't own their homes in your neighborhood. So like for me, once I got the bug and learned how to do it, I'm like, man, I got to tell everybody I know. And then on top of it, I want to show my kids this because I want my kids to know like, if you rent by choice, but not because you just think that's your only option. So like my youngest son, he's big on the construction side. He already likes tools. He likes to get dirty. All the contractors know, they call him baby balls. He walks in, he's like, hey, the place is dirty. He's like, the place is dirty. And then my oldest son, he's just more so about the money. So he's like, do the tenants pay or how much we make? And I think he'll be the realtor. My other son will be the contractor.
Oh, I think that. You're growing a little team.
Right.
Off the court over here.
Yeah, but my kids know, like we ride past, they're like, yeah, you know, the tenants, and you like, the tenant's still in that house, or did we finish that house yet? Did you sell that house? I'm like, no, not yet, but yes. And then my kids' friends, my children's friends, they call me the real estate guy.
It's good.
I'm the real estate guy.
And other parents know you as a real estate guy.
All our team uniforms got the logo on the back.
Yeah, there we go.
We sponsor the team for it, so yes.
And I'm sure you get so many deals just through the local community because of that.
So it's hit or miss. So it's more so like they know the presence, and then, you know, over time. So it's funny, I just sold one of the coaches a house from the late, you know. So it's like, you know, they trickle in. Not as much as you would think, but they trickle in though.
I bet they do. And either way, they're free deals, right? What the heck?
And then, you know, that's why I do it really to plant those seeds. So, you know, so definitely it's a good situation. And like you said, it's something I can share with my kids, so that my kids understand, like, yo, this is what hard work is, what it is, and this is, you know, what it looks like for you guys to be able to create opportunity for yourself, whether you go to college, don't go to college. This real estate is going to be your bankroll.
Yeah, after you do that, you learn real estate, then you can do whatever you want.
Right.
You're not doing it because you have to. You're doing it because that's what you want to do.
Exactly, and there's no pressure. Right. So my only dilemma though, trying to figure out if they're really gonna want to do the real estate when it's their turn. You know how you meet so many real estate investors in our business, and you're like, you got how many kids and don't? You got 50 properties and none of your kids want to do the real estate?
I hear that so often. And I worry about this. And I worry about this greatly. So that's why whenever I see someone who, like, it seems like you've got a great relationship with your kid. Like, I really respect, that's something I respect so much about you. And bro, I'm trying to pick everyone's brain. It seems like you got some.
No, so I honestly brainwashed them. So like my kids came out the womb going to showings in houses with me. So this is,
they have to like it.
This is kind of what they know. It's not like it's a new thing. Like, no, They know, like, yeah, we're probably going with dad to go check on the house, or we're going with dad. Like my son knows, oh, we go to the bank and we pay the contractors. Like they know. Oh, we don't have it at the bank, we go get the credit card. So like,
okay,
this is the norm for them.
That's good, man. I'm trying to instill this in mind.
So just don't force it. Just, they're gonna keep them with you. So that's the one, like I said, like I'm big on environment. So even how you talk about like, how do you get into real estate? Like surrounding yourself with the right people and learning from the environment. And again, your environment will help your trajectory, because you're going to either learn how to start here, or you might start out here or here based on the people you're learning from. And you might not have the money right now. You might not always have the necessary skills, but what you can do is bridge the gaps for people. I started out, honestly, like I wasn't doing clean outs, but I was like doing yard work and sweeping up for other landlords just to learn how they did what they did. Yo, let me cut your grass so you can tell me how you got this house. Yo, let me sweep and do the clean out for you once the guys do the demo. just so I could be on site and figure out what's what. At the time, for me, I had no kids, so it was like super exciting just to be in the mix.
Yeah.
Even though they was getting free labor from me, but I'm like, that's all I had to offer at the time. Now,
you're learning a lot through all that.
right. And now, you know, it's like, I don't do no free labor now. I'll send you a guy.
Yeah, my guy like that.
Yeah, I know somebody, but yeah. You know, and that's why I said, like, just, you know, the environment, whether it's your kids, whether it's you, like, it's a game changer.
Okay.
A game changer. I mean, I even had a meeting today with a gentleman, super smart guy, finance guy, and he told me my goals was too small. And I was like, he's like, yo, that's child's play. I'm looking at
It's good. That's a good circle to be in, though.
I mean, it hurt my feelings a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm like, I want to put hands on you. Like, who are you talking to? But at the same token, I'm like, so you telling me there's more?
Yeah.
He's like, no, there's more. You can do more. I'm like, me? He's like, yes. And like you said, that's good to have somebody that sees something in you that wants to push you. And I'm like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So
That's good. That's a good person to have around. I'll tell you that.
no, I'm excited. And I mean, it's the cool thing. So I don't know if you know, I'm just opening up with my partners, this office, Realty One Group down here in front of Girard. So like, this is kind of opening other doors that, again, I wasn't necessarily in when I was just the agent. But now that I'm actually a business owner, we have our own brick and mortar space, I'm meeting other owners and people who do different things. And, you know, now I'm learning other sides of the business.
Yeah, of course. You're wearing many different hats now.
Yes.
And you weren't wearing them before. And with the more hats and different hats you wear, the different groups you get connected with
In the trend,
in that
yes.
space.
Yes,
which is nice.
yes.
What are your goals for this place?
So right now we want to get up to 30 agents. We're at 15. So we want to get 30 agents by just say January 2024.
Okay.
And then outside of that, we will hopefully, you know, expand not expand, but have other things working for us in regards to, like, I really want to be able to start investing with the agents that we work with. So I don't have all the kinks worked out yet to know what it's going to look like, but our goal is not just to be agents who sell, but also agents who own them. I feel like if you're a real estate professional, no matter at some capacity, you should own real estate. You'd be surprised. A lot of agents and people doing real estate that don't own anything, but they're selling it or not selling it rather. But it's like, I feel like if you want to help people to the highest level, you should also have that experience under your belt.
And that skin in the game. Skin in the game is important. It's
Sure.
important. I'll tell you that much. It is.
For sure.
Okay. Well, I got another question for you. Because a lot of my students and a lot of people that are watching this, I preach people, when you're first starting out, you should be finding your deals on the MLS and you should be working with agents. Now, what advice would you give and how do you think that realtors and wholesalers can work together? We've worked together on stuff.
We have. So
Come on.
give you the raw version
Yeah, tell us.
So, all right, so let's have
What
it-
can they do to
to make
with-
it work.
What can these young wholesalers do?
So it's
to make it work with
tough.
the
So
realtors?
it's tough. I'm not gonna lie. I struggle with wholesalers coming to agents to piggyback on the deals, right? And I think I more so struggles because if you're a wholesaler and you're doing it, but you're presenting like you're the real buyer. So if you're the wholesaler and you've really got a buyer, say that. Don't try to foolery in the back door situation, because you know I've had that conversation with you before. Like, man, like the deal's on the MLS. I don't need you if it's on the MLS, or the person who sent it to me, like, yo, they sent it to me and it's on the MLS. Like, come on. So I think you just gotta be mindful of that.
Okay.
And again, just be upfront. But again, have the buyer. I think if you're gonna piggyback and work with other agents, have the buyers. Don't just go around just trying to take stuff and market it like it's yours, because you got Google, you can see it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, outside of that, I like working with wholesalers.
Okay, here we go.
I do like working with wholesalers because it's certain, like, again, certain agents don't have the hustle and the drive. So it takes a certain hustle to be a wholesaler. So if you're a decent wholesaler, there's things you're going to be able to do and resources you have that agents don't have. So I don't mind, again, partnering or figure it out. But again, let's just have transparency. And, you know, let's be able to be on the same page so that as a licensed agent, I'm held to a higher standard and my license is on the line and I can't jeopardize losing my livelihood over one transaction.
Bam. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. So make sure when you're working with these agents, tell them, hey, I'm assigning the deal to my partner.
Right.
If they're a smart agent, they're not going to run away at that.
Right. And again, have all your ducks in a row. So for me, I got like control issues a little bit. So it's like, we can work together, but yo, I need you to use my title company.
He does. I can vouch. He does.
Like, hey, we'll get it done. Don't want to hear no issues, but yo, use my title company because I know at the end of the day, everything's going to be good. And I know you're going to get your money you're supposed to get. And that's the one thing, again, I think agents might be nervous. They're like, well, you're making more money than I am. That's your fault for not doing what you were supposed to do, but you're still going to make your money. Yeah. So again, I like working with wholesalers because if I can't get it done and you can, you make your money, I make my money, everybody's happy.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a whole 5% with the commission instead of the 2.5. Come on,
give or take.
That's a good too. Right? What the heck? Everybody can win.
Right. But no, I mean, and honestly, I think as a wholesaler, eventually your evolution should be either purchasing properties or become an agent. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with being an agent and a wholesaler. So again, I know how to wholesale. I know how to be a licensed agent because not every deal is going to be the same. And when that opportunity comes across your desk, you're going to want to like, I know, or let me do it this way. So, I feel like being an agent and having that background of a wholesaler is like the cheat code because even most agents don't know how to generate leads that wholesalers know how to do. That's why I'm always in your ear talking to you about generate leads and cold calling because it's like, it can be grueling, but most wholesalers know how to do it better than agents.
That's true. And agents, because of your license, you have more opportunities to capitalize on the leads.
Right. So that's why, like I said, it's a win-win if we can
work together.
Yes.
There we go. Before we wrap up, now a lot of these people, they're newer real estate people. And what advice would you give somebody who's young, they're fresh, they're looking to still do their first deal, they're hungry?
Man, the new investor or the new wholesaler?
Either or, they're looking to still do
just get in the game. Just get in the game.
Their first deal. Even an agent, wholesaler, buyer. What advice would you give?
One, be patient. It never happens in the timeline you wanted to happen in. Okay. Two, be okay with not hitting a home run on your first deal or your second or your third. It's those singles and doubles that add up over time. So for me, I'd rather do volume than only eating off of one deal. Let me eat 4 weeks in a row versus just 1 week and trying to make it stretch. And then also, again, be honest if you don't know. Most people will help you and help you get through whatever it is if you're honest. But don't make it worse and keep trying to figure it out or fix it. And, you keep making it a shit show, basically.
I agree. Get right out ahead of it. Say, ooh, I don't know. They'll respect you more if you do that, oftentimes.
Exactly. And I know it's tough because you don't want to seem like you know what you're doing, but we all had to start at somewhere. So just remember, it's okay to start somewhere.
100%. I find that, and that an experience could be a positive. You tell these people, oh, hey, listen, this is my first deal. They're going to be super extra nice with you a lot of the time.
Some of them, for the most part.
But there'll be more hand-holding, and maybe you'll need that.
No, so my very, very first deal I did as an agent, that agent did everything for me.
Yeah.
And we're still cool to this day. Matter of fact, he sold me a house around the corner from the one you sold. Sold it to me because he knew that was my area. And man, it was like only out for like 40. It was nice too.
Oh man.
I flipped it.
You didn't keep it?
I flipped it. Now, back then I was flipping, I'm like,
you wasn't hungry, you won the check.
Yeah, it was a good check. It was like my first real good check too. But, again, it comes with the game. So.
It comes with the game.
Young lady who bought it, she's happy. She's still there. I see her all the time. So
Cool. Anthony, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate your time, man.
No, I appreciate you, man. And salute to everything you're doing. Like I said, you're one of the few wholesalers that like I rock with, I stand with. You do your thing. So you definitely out here moving and shaking, son. I look forward to doing some more deals with you.
Dang right. Let's do another deal. Let's get some of this money.
My man.
My guy. All right.